What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Blitz Angle today. My name is Ryan Linklater. I might be a little bit under the weather, but we got Thursday night football coming up in a day here. Dan, Bengals versus Steelers. Typically not the notoriety this matchup has with Joe Burrow healthy and the Steelers playing at all cylinders. Looks like the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers are trending in the right direction. They're off to a great start this year. All right, this is another opportunity for them to separate themselves from the other teams in the division. What are you looking at in this matchup heading into this week?
Yeah, I think it's going to be another fun matchup, man. These Thursday night games have been a lot of fun. It's been 2 weeks in a row that the underdog has won outright.
Ooh.
So we just never know with these matchups, man. And I'm real excited. It's another divisional matchup. Uh, let me pull this up real quick. So the past two times, so the Steelers are 4-2 against the Bengals since 2022. 5 of 6 of those games have been decided by 7 points or less. And you see the spread's pretty close right now. It's 5.5. Steelers are favored, so I think it's going to be another close game, and it's going to be exciting. So I'm ready. I prepped a lot for this, and I'm ready to dive in.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Bengals, they got their new quarterback. Joe Flacco is the new quarterback for
Yeah,
Cincinnati. Did not lead to much more offense production against a tough Packers defense, but Flacco only had 1 week to get to know the system, so wasn't necessarily an ideal preparation time. What I was encouraged by last week, the ground game, it actually looked pretty good. Chase Brown, 9 carries for 42 yards, his best outing of the year in terms of efficiency metrics. It looks like maybe this team could be leaning a little bit more on him to get going against the Steelers defense. And, you look at Jamar Chase, 2 straight big games with Jake Browning and Joe Flacco there. It looks like they're starting to kind of figure out what they need to be on the offensive side of the ball after a really abysmal, last 3 weeks here, figuring out the quarterback situation. The biggest concern for me, though, the offensive line. The offensive line is an absolute disaster for this unit, and they will have their hands full with the Pittsburgh Steelers defense that since week 2 has been one of the better units in the NFL, and that is why they are 4-1 right now. Aaron Rodgers has 10 touchdowns on the year. DK Metcalf has 4 of those. I think where this matchup is going to be determined are the trenches. Can the Cincinnati Bengals hold up enough for this team to go score 24 points? Because I don't necessarily buy in the fact that this Pittsburgh Steelers offense is one of the best 10 units in the NFL. They are okay at best. Jalen Warren is a very inefficient back. This ground game hasn't been consistent outside of DK Metcalf. They don't have a lot of receiving options for this team. So if the Cincinnati Bengals can win the upfront battle, I think they could cover the spread 5.5. I think it's definitely possible at home. And the Steelers, this is a big game for them, and not only because Lamar Jackson returns next week, but this team needs to continue to build on their momentum because their schedule is only going to get harder as the season goes on. What are you taking a look at between these two teams?
yeah. No, just to add on, I think just watching a lot of film this week, Joe Flacco looked really good in a short period of time against a tough Green Bay Packers team. He's fearless in the pocket. Like I don't care who's around him. He'll stand right in there and deliver the football. He's not afraid to get hit. So the Steelers are going to come after him. Pittsburgh's got a 40% pressure rate on the season. They're sixth in quarterback pressures with 88. So they're going to come after him. But he just like I said, he's fearless. He's been in the league since 2008, and you got to think he's played against Troy Polamalu and James Harrison and Joey Porter. You think he's scared of these guys coming at him? No. It's just amazing. Just he's just fearless, man. That's my word. So I think the Bengals are going to be able to move the ball. I mean, it's 2 weeks in a row that I've said a defense gives up a lot of yards, but not a lot of touchdowns. And the two teams I said that about are the Eagles and the Rams, and they both lost on Thursday night. So I think the Bengals are going to put up some points. Joe Flacco threw some dimes to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. If the Steelers leave any of those guys one on one, he's going to take a shot. So they better be ready for that. It just like you said, it will come down to the offensive line. So they got to give him just enough time for him to deliver the football. But yeah, I mean that's what I'm thinking. I think the Bengals are going to put up some points this game. And then with flipping over to the Steelers offense, uh, they're going to put up some points as well. Bengals can't stop anybody. You look at their metrics. I mean, they're 30th in points per game, 31st in yards, uh, 31st passing, 28th against the run. I mean, it's bad. There's nothing. The only thing they're good at is limiting explosive runs, and they're currently 18th in the NFL.
It's
So
pretty
it's not
good.
very exciting. Yeah, I mean that's what they're hanging their head on. So I think my big mismatch for this game after doing a bunch of research and tape watching is The Bengals have allowed a league worst 999 yards after the catch. 32nd in the NFL, okay? And even watching film when, the Jaguars did it, and even last week, Green Bay, they cannot tackle anybody. They're one of the worst tackling teams in the league, and it shows on tape. So I really think, the Steelers are gonna have a lot of success just with Aaron. He's got the quickest time to throw this season, and he's gonna be throwing slants, screens, and this Bengals team is not gonna be able to tackle him. The Steelers are currently 1st in the NFL with, yards, after catch over expected, according to Next Gen Stats. They're plus 183 in that category, and the Cincinnati is giving up plus 252, league worst, yards after catch over expected. So I expect, Thursday night, DK Metcalf's gonna have a big game. His total is, online on the sports books is only 60.5 receiving yards. I would take that over because they're not gonna tackle this guy. What's DK, 6'4"? 6'4", he's quick. I don't know how they're gonna tackle this guy. So I expect him to have a great game on Thursday, and, I think, another guy for Pittsburgh who's gonna have a great game is Jaylen Warren. I would take his over receptions and receiving, especially if he's gonna start too. They're gonna have a tough time tackling, and he's a great pass blocker as well. So I think the Steelers are gonna have a good game, moving the ball, and so will the Bengals. So it's gonna be a fun one Thursday night.
Yeah. The over under total right now is 44, and most of the public, 54% of them are on the under right now. So, based on kind of what you're saying, it looks like the over could well be in play within this one, with both teams projecting over that 20-point mark. And I think it's interesting. The Steelers have been very opportunistic on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
They're kind of like what you talk about. They're a defense that allows more yards, right? But they make big time plays in terms of pressure on third down, and they have turnover worthy plays that they seem to create at will. Right. This is why this matchup is so important for Pittsburgh. Their schedule upcoming: Green Bay, Indianapolis, Los Angeles Chargers. They get Cincy again. Then you get Bears, Bills, Ravens, Dolphins, Lions, Browns, Ravens. That's a brutal kind of close of the season for this team. And is it enough? Because Baltimore, you take a look at Baltimore's schedule. They go Chicago, Miami, Minnesota, Cleveland, the Jets, the Bengals, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Packers, Steelers. Dan, the Pittsburgh Steelers need this game. I'm looking at that schedule and I'm absolutely thinking that, you know, the Pittsburgh Steelers could blow this division lead to a healthy Baltimore Ravens team after week 8. And all it is going to take is Pittsburgh not necessarily, taking care of the teams that they should be beating, but kind of the same story we've heard. They can't get past the first round of the playoffs. They only win 10 games, 9 games a year. The Steelers team, sure, they're 4-1 right now, but I just have a feeling the Steelers team has the make of every other Pittsburgh team, and it's that they are not talented enough to compete with the elite class in the AFC. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, and I agree that this is a very important game. You got to get this one against Joe Flacco because just like you alluded to, their schedule only gets tougher, and it gets me nervous too because you look at the past track history of Mike Tomlin. Tomlin is 0-6 on the road in Thursday night football. Like
Oh boy.
he just yeah, like 0-6 against divisional opponents, and then I believe he's like 2-8 overall since 2007. So it's concerning. Like I really wanted to take the Bengals in this game, but like this isn't. The Bengals just aren't good on defense. They're really not. So the Steelers have to win this game. We talk about must win games in early week 1, week 2, week 3. This is a must win game for the Steelers, who I don't think Trey Henderson is playing either
Yeah, he's
because
he's
he
had
has
some problems too, which is a big loss for
yeah,
them.
he's Cincinnati's pass rusher is dealing with a hip injury. He hasn't practiced so far these past 2 days. So yeah, they need to win this game. Just like you said with the schedule, this is it's a must win game for them.
Yeah, it really is. And you take a look at Cincinnati's side of things, and this is kind of what you deal with the roster construction around two receivers combining for 80 million. You have a quarterback that's top of the money in the NFL, right? This defense doesn't have any sort of talent on that side that they can be expected to compete without their star quarterback. Like this is what we're getting
Right.
from the Bengals is kind of what happens when you pay two elite receivers. Like this is what we're seeing from them. And obviously in these division games, they traded for Joe Flacco to compete. I don't know how realistic that is that they're going to compete with Joe Flacco, but I think they will be better than what Jake Browning was showing because the product Jake Browning put out there was
That's
really
bad.
bad, really, really bad. So Bengals should be better on the offensive side of the ball, but is it enough to overtake what they've done defensively? Probably not. So, like, with that, Pittsburgh is my pick in this game. I'm going with the Steelers 27-21 in this matchup. I do think the over hits. I do think the over hits. I like Aaron Rodgers 2
Yeah.
plus touchdowns in this matchup. And I also like Darnell Washington to fall into the end zone this week. He's been increasing his snaps every single week, a good value in terms of a anytime touchdown bet for you guys. I want to throw some money on this game. Dan, what are you taking and why?
That was funny because I got my score here. I don't know if they'll be able to see it. You're not gonna be able to see it, but I put the final score is 27-22
Oh,
Steelers. I was like, holy cow, we got the same score. I think what's gonna happen. It'll be a close game. It'll be like 20. Let's say how am I gonna do this? It'll be like 20-10. Okay, and then what will happen is the Bengals will score. They'll miss an extra point. It'd be 20-16. Steelers score 27-16, and then I think what's gonna happen is Bengals will score, go for 2 to make it a 3-point game, and they won't get it. So that's what I see right here. I got my
you saw
crystal
it. You
ball.
saw the vision. The
Yeah,
vision is there.
that's it. That's it. I see it. So 27-22 final. They'll take the over on Thursday night, and yeah, I like your bets, man. I also some bets for defense for Pittsburgh. I got Alex Highsmith sack. It's plus 111 right now, and
Mm,
also Nick Herbig sack. Herbig, it leads the Steelers with a 20% pressure rate on the quarterback. He leads the team, and Highsmith is currently second, 17.1% pressure rate. So I like those two to get a sack on Flacco on Thursday night.
bang. I like it. Those are value. Nobody talks about the defensive bets, but here we are talking
I like
defensive
it.
bets and how you guys can gain values. I do think if you're looking for a Cincinnati player prop on the offensive side of the ball, Chase Brown is risky. Jamar Chase at his line feels risky. I like Joe Flacco passing attempts in this one. I think that they're going to try to throw the ball a lot. I mean, that's just kind of how this offense works. So go
Yeah,
against the grain of what people are going to want to do. Joe Flacco attempts if you're wanting to bet a Cincinnati player. All in all, though, we got the Steelers. Let us know down in the comment section below who you guys are picking between these Steelers and the Bengals on Thursday night. Hit that subscribe button for more Blitz Angle content. And me and Dan will catch you guys next time.